Welcome to the Morning Dump with Gary Fair, talking all things Cleveland sports.
Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, depending on what part of the country you're in, or if you've just woken up. It is a Saturday morning. This is the morning dump. So the morning dump is just kind of like whenever you take your first dump, and we are in here now talking and taking our first sports dump here. Going to be talking some Cleveland sports here, talking about things that we got going on, and Cleveland sports. It is not for the faint of heart. And there's always something going on, something to talk about. So if you have been keeping up with what's going on here with the Cleveland Browns, of course, that we have our coaching search going on right now. We've got some candidates that have backed out of the coaching search, and we got some candidates that nobody else is talking to. Nobody else in the league is talking to, but the Browns are talking to them. Go figure. So we're waiting to see what happens there. But we do have some Guardians news finally for the first time in the offseason. The Guardians are making some news and spending some money. They are looking at an extension with Jose Ramirez. So this extension is looking like it's going to go through 2032. About $25 million a year. And I don't know if I'm this guy's agent, if I'm Jose Ramirez's agent, man, I don't know. I don't know how you stick with this guy. This guy continues to take below market deals to stay with the Guardians. And, as a fan of the Guardians, that is, man, I'm so excited about that. I want him here for the rest of his career. I just don't know if that's like really the smartest thing in the world to be doing, It's taking another below market deal. So waiting for some folks to join us here. Thank you for checking us out on YouTube and Facebook. Jose Ramirez signs an extension going through 2032, $25 million a year. I'm really hoping this isn't the only money that the Guardians are going to spend. They were in the ALCS the year before, but really like a calendar year ago. The Guardians are in the ALCS. They spend no money to do anything to really help the outfield or do anything to capitalize on that. And, we have the year that we have last year, and you have really just a miracle at the end of the year. I mean, can you really count on them doing what they did the second half of the season, really the last 2 months of the season? You can't really count on that happening again. You have some obvious holes in the outfield. And, I'm once again, I'm happy that they are spending this money to extend Jose Ramirez, but man, I really would like you to do something for that outfield, put something around Jose Ramirez, because I just don't know. I don't know what this accomplishes. I'm happy, I'm just kind of processing this as it's going on. This is new news. It's not official yet. They are working it out with him. But Jose Ramirez looks like he's going to be a Cleveland Guardian through 2032. About $25 million a year. And that, like I said, that's awesome. As a fan, I do want to see Jose Ramirez here around for a long time, but I need to see something built around him. And if you're Jose Ramirez, I don't know why you take that deal. I mean, you're continually taking these below market deals to stay with Cleveland when they don't put anything around you. I understand they're in the playoffs quite a bit, but they're not built to go deep in the playoffs. They have good pitching, but they don't put anything around this guy. And I'm just afraid that you're extending this guy so that at the end of this guy's career, his contract can be an albatross for you. I don't want this to be another Cleveland legend that it ends up being bad at the end of his career. And that's nothing on Jose Ramirez. Just the guy's going to be in his late 30s. You know, if this was a regular organization, I would be very excited for this below market deal. But this team does not like to spend money. And, you know, they are not, they don't keep guys. And if, you know, Jose Ramirez in one of those years has a year where he hits 240, there's going to be talk. And I'm not looking forward to that talk. As I'm processing this, I just don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know that this is really going to be celebrated by the fan base, just because they're still not putting money into the team today, which is something that they need to do. You know, there are still some second tier free agents out there in the outfield that they should be looking at. They need to be looking at. You know, they obviously weren't going to be signing the Cody Bellingers of the world out there. You know, and those, while those would have been very nice, you know, we knew that we weren't going to be getting those, you know, but there's still some guys out there, you know, that, you know, there's still some guys out there. So taking a look at the outfielders, right? Like, you're going to tell me that like an Austin Hayes wouldn't look better here than what we have. Maybe even a Miguel Andujar. You know, he's 31 years old, but he's still a right-handed hitter with some pop. You know, Harrison Bader, I don't know if he's a guy that I super love, but he's still a right-handed hitter. He's he's a pretty good fielder out there in the outfield. You know, Max Kepler is out there. Starling Marte is out there. I mean, he's 37 years old. The point is that there's something that you can do out there. There's somebody that you can pick up. There's a trade that you can make. Marcell Ozuna is out there. That's another right-handed hitter that's got some pop and some power. I know he's more of a DH at this point in his career, but by God, there's somebody out there that you can get. There's something that you can do out there to put something around Jose Ramirez. You've got to make this deal. You've got to make it worth something. Because otherwise I just don't know. You have got to, you've got to make it so that Jose, you know, doesn't regret signing this deal, and make it so that people are going to pay to come and see him throughout this deal. Because people are not just going to pay to see Jose Ramirez alone. You know, it's great that they have him. You need to put some offense around him. And you know, the baseball season is a story. You know, people forget, like, it is sports, but it's a story. And, you know, people do love a good comeback story, but if you don't have the buy-in at the beginning, people are not going to be there at the end. And this team is so revenue driven, you need to have the buy-in at the beginning, which is why you need to build a good offense. This team needs to be in it at the beginning so that people are buying tickets and they're there at the end. You know, it's great when you're having these comebacks and you go, oh man, we got 25,000 people in the stands. Well, 25,000 should be your mid, not your top. You should be selling out at the end of the year when you're having these comebacks. You know, and I know it's not the 90s anymore, but I'm sorry, the Browns are still selling out when they're good. The Cavaliers sell out when they're good. There are events that sell out here in Cleveland. The Guardians can sell out. I was there when they did. I used to go all the time. This last year is the first year since the 80s I didn't go to a Guardians game. It's the first year. In 40 years, 30 years, 30, 40 years, I didn't go. You know, people are more casual than they used to be about the Guardians. And a lot of it is because of the letdowns. It's the letdowns throughout the season. It's the not re-signing their free agents. It's the, it's, you know, trading their, guys. It's trading their trading their key guys. Anytime a guy gets to be good and they're up for a contract, they trade him. You know, so the Guardians need to work. It's not just about the record at the end of the year and the playoffs. They need to work on good faith at this point. They need to figure out good faith, and it's really cool that they're going to sign Jose Ramirez. That's awesome, and I'm sure that's going to make some people happy. But they need to build around him. It's not just about signing him. They need to start building good faith with the fan base, and part of that is going to be putting an offense around him now. That you're going to have him here long term. We don't have to worry about him being traded now. You build an offense around this guy, and you start hot early in the season so that you get buy-in, so that people are buying tickets in April and May. Because when they were good, people bought tickets in April and May. You know, you don't have to sell out every single game. You don't have to have a 455 game sellout streak, but people will watch the team. They will watch baseball and go to the games if they're good. I mean, hell, the Cleveland Crunch are back, and people don't even know they're back, and they're doing 5,000 at the Convocation Center, at the Wolstein Center. Did you know that the Crunch are back? I bet most people listen don't even know they're back, but there's 5,000 people going to the Wolstein. So there's 5,000 people in Cleveland that know that because they're winning. Because people like to watch winning. If you win, you will make money. You make it in whether it's through the play, however it is, teams that win make money. And you have to put your money, sometimes you have to put money in up front. And that's what the Guardians are going to have to do. And it's going to take more than this under market deal from Jose Ramirez to I think really to get this fan base back. So kudos to the Guardians for signing this extension. Kudos to Jose Ramirez. Happy to have you here for a long time. You know, you are Mr. Guardian. Jose Ramirez is Mr. Cleveland Baseball. So thank you for signing that. We're happy to have you here. But we just hope that this is the beginning of something for the Guardians. The beginning of some more moves, and we hope they build around you, man, because you deserve it. Guardians fans deserve it, but if they don't, you know, this is kind of like I don't know what they say. Is it peeing in the wind? I don't know what the saying is, but this is, you know, a drop in a bucket. I don't know. I don't know what this does for the franchise. This is really just a gift from Jose Ramirez to the franchise. So thank you, Jose, for re-signing. Browns, lots of stuff going on there. So we've been talking a lot about Browns candidates, coaching candidates, whether we want a young guy, you want an old guy. There's been guys withdrawing from the process. At this point, it's just... I think it's hard. This process is hard for Browns fans to go through. Because if you're a longtime Browns fan, you've gone through this so much already. And I know that we had Stefanski for 6 years, and that's been great. We had a little bit of stability. But before Stefanski, there was no stability. And we were going through this process every year. Every 2 years. And every single time it was pretty much a dumpster fire. You know, we had an owner that moved the team, then it went to the owner that died, then to the absentee owner, and then to this mess of, you know, we've had with Hazel. So it really hasn't been something for, you know, fans to get excited about. And if you talk to other fan bases, I don't think it's something that, you know, I think that their experiences are pretty similar. You know, unless you are a team that's a dynasty, you know, your fan base is going through pretty much a similar thing everywhere. Because, you know, when it comes to these sports, really, if you're not first, you're last, like Ricky Bobby's dad said. So, you know, we are all going through it together against each other. That being said, it seems as though the Browns go through it more often and at like a much worse level. But, you know, Buffalo's going through it right now. You know, Buffalo lost their head coach. I know that he was on the hot seat, but they essentially lost McDermott on a bad blown call by the refs. I mean, I'm not an NFL expert. I'm not a referee. But from what I understand, my whole life watching football, is you have a wide receiver catches a ball and hits the ground and he's touched and he's down. And that's it. The fact that those referees didn't even look at that call is crazy. And then Sean McDermott gets fired. And then that even affects the Browns because now that's another opening. You think when the Browns are looking for coaching candidates, you're looking at the Browns or you're looking at the Bills, who both have an opening. One has the Browns and the other one is Josh Allen. Who do you think is good? What team are you going to go to? What job do you take? Do you take Josh Allen? Or do you take the Browns job? You know, these bad these bad calls have ripple effects down the league. And, you know, it just somehow, some way, it always seems to affect the Browns somehow. You know, so we are continuing with the coaching search. We'll have some more candidates in next week. Jim Schwartz, he's in-house. If he was that good of a candidate, you would hire him already at this point. You would, figure out a way to satisfy the Rooney Rule so that you could hire him, and you would have him under contract. So I don't necessarily know what is going on there. But, you know, if he was that good of a candidate, Jim Schwartz would be your head coach. And that's it. You know, so they obviously don't have anybody. You know, you just got to wonder, is this something that Schwartz doesn't want to take the job? Does Schwartz want the job? Are they just trying to hold on to him? Are they forcing him to stay because they have him under contract? You know, they have to allow him to take head coaching interviews. You know, so he went out and took that Ravens interview. They don't have to let him go anywhere else. Maybe I think maybe if he gets an assistant head coaching job, maybe wouldn't that be something if Stefanski hires him as an assistant head coach down in Atlanta? We end up losing him that way. So we don't keep him as a defensive coordinator. We don't keep him as a head coach. He ends up as the assistant head coach down in Atlanta. You know, Stefanski seems to be, you know, taking a lot of his other he's taken a few guys from the staff so far. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Appreciate you guys watching and listening. Make sure you like and subscribe, share, and we'll check you guys on the next morning dump. Have a good one, guys.